Princess Beatrice has spent most of her life in the public eye. Every smile, every appearance, and every decision has been watched, analyzed, and debated. But now, many royal commentators believe she may be facing one of the biggest personal challenges of all. Not because of one shocking scandal or a dramatic betrayal, but because of something much quieter. The slow build of pressure that can weigh on even the strongest marriage. And when that pressure comes from family loyalty, public expectations, and constant media attention, it becomes much harder to escape. So, is there really trouble behind the palace walls, or is this another case of speculation running ahead of the facts? The answer isn't as simple as it first appears. At first glance, Princess Beatrice and her husband, Edoardo Mazzi, appear to have everything. A happy family, successful careers, and a life filled with privilege. But appearances can be deceiving. Behind every carefully staged royal photograph is a private world that very few people ever get to see. And according to many royal observers, that private world may be carrying more pressure than anyone realizes. But what exactly is putting that pressure on their relationship? One of the biggest talking points has been Edoardo's increasingly demanding career. As the founder of a luxury property company, his work regularly takes him across Europe, the United States, and other international destinations. High-profile meetings, exclusive developments, and wealthy clients mean long flights, packed schedules, and weeks away from home. For someone running a global business, that level of travel is completely normal. Yet when you're married to a member of the royal family, even an ordinary business trip can become headline news. And that's exactly what has happened. Royal watchers have noticed that the couple has appeared together less frequently than before. Their reduced public appearances have naturally fueled speculation. Some have questioned whether the growing distance between their schedules reflects something deeper. Others argue that busy careers are simply part of modern family life. After all, countless couples spend time apart because of work. But does constant separation become more difficult when millions of people are watching your every move? One trip in particular caught the attention of royal commentators. Edoardo spent several weeks in the United States on business, traveling with colleague Holly Payne. There has been no public evidence suggesting anything inappropriate about the trip. It was work. Nothing more has been confirmed. Even so, the extended absence added fuel to rumors already circulating online. It shows how quickly ordinary events can become extraordinary when royal connections are involved. But if travel isn't the real issue, then what is? For Princess Beatrice, life continues at home. While her husband travels, she balances motherhood, family responsibilities, and public duties. Together they are raising daughters Sienna and Athena, trying to create as normal a childhood as possible despite living under one of the world's brightest spotlights. Like many parents, they must juggle careers and family life. The difference is that every decision they make is examined by newspapers, television shows, and social media. That level of attention would challenge almost anyone. So how do you protect your family when privacy barely exists? Many commentators believe the real challenge goes far beyond business travel. They point instead to the continuing attention surrounding the York family. Princess Beatrice did not create the controversies connected to her family. Yet she continues living with their consequences. Every fresh headline has the power to drag old stories back into the spotlight, even when she has done nothing to cause them. And that burden can be difficult to carry year after year. But could those headlines also affect the people closest to her? For Edoardo, reputation is more than a personal matter. It is part of his business. Luxury property depends on trust, discretion, and credibility. Wealthy international clients expect privacy above everything else. Some royal analysts have wondered whether constant media attention surrounding the wider York family creates additional challenges for someone operating in such a competitive industry. There is no public evidence that it has damaged his business. Still, perception matters. And in industries built on relationships, perception can become almost as important as reality. Could that be forcing him to balance two completely different worlds? On one side is royal life, shaped by tradition, family loyalty, and public expectations. On the other is international business, where privacy and professionalism are essential. Bringing those worlds together is no easy task. Every public appearance can generate headlines. Every family controversy can become global news. Every work trip can spark fresh rumors. Over time, those pressures can quietly build. And sometimes the greatest strain doesn't come from one dramatic event. It comes from hundreds of small ones. Royal commentators often describe Princess Beatrice as being caught in an impossible position. She has always shown loyalty to her family. Yet every time the York family returns to the headlines, she finds herself pulled back into conversations she never started. If she distances herself, some question her loyalty. If she stays close, others continue linking her to controversies outside her control. Either way, criticism follows. Is there any way to win in that situation? At the same time, Edoardo's career continues expanding. His calendar remains filled with international travel, client meetings, and property development stretching across continents. Success demands commitment. But success also comes with sacrifices. Long periods apart are difficult for any marriage, regardless of titles or wealth. Friends and family have made no public statements suggesting serious problems between the couple, and there is absolutely no confirmed evidence that their marriage is in crisis. Even so, many observers believe that the combination of distance, responsibility, and relentless public attention would test almost any relationship. Public appearances don't always tell the full story. A smile at an event or a photograph outside a royal ceremony cannot reveal what happens after the cameras leave. Private conversations remain private. That is why so much of the discussion surrounding the couple remains speculation rather than fact. Yet speculation has become almost unavoidable whenever royals are involved. And once rumors begin, they often take on a life of their own. But why do people remain so fascinated? Perhaps it's because Princess Beatrice represents something many people understand. She is trying to balance loyalty to the family she was born into with the family she is building herself. Those two responsibilities do not always point in the same direction. Supporting parents, protecting children, encouraging a spouse, and maintaining a public role all at the same time is a difficult balancing act. Add worldwide media attention, and the challenge becomes even greater. Could anyone truly prepare for a life like that? Many royal analysts believe relationships are rarely damaged by one explosive moment. Instead, they are shaped by everyday pressures that slowly accumulate over time. Frequent travel. Long work hours. Endless headlines. Public expectations. Family obligations. None of those challenges may seem overwhelming on their own. Together, however, they can become an enormous weight. And unlike most couples, Beatrice and Edoardo cannot simply step away from the spotlight whenever they need a break. There is also the emotional cost of constant public scrutiny. Every new article has the potential to reopen old debates. Every family controversy can return without warning. That makes it difficult to move forward because the past never seems to stay in the past. Royal observers believe this cycle can be exhausting, especially for someone trying to create stability for young children. How do you focus on tomorrow when yesterday keeps returning? Despite everything, there are also reasons for optimism. Nothing publicly confirms that Princess Beatrice and Edoardo Mazzi are experiencing serious marital difficulties. Much of what is discussed comes from commentators interpreting public appearances and demanding schedules. They continue raising their daughters together. They continue managing their careers. And they continue appearing at important family events when required. Those facts are often overlooked while speculation dominates the conversation. So perhaps the bigger story isn't about a marriage falling apart. Perhaps it's about the extraordinary pressure placed on people living extraordinary lives. As the royal family continues to evolve, attention surrounding the York family is unlikely to disappear anytime soon. Edoardo's international business is expected to keep growing, which means travel will remain part of his professional life. Princess Beatrice will continue balancing motherhood, family responsibilities, and the expectations attached to her royal background. Those challenges are unlikely to become easier overnight. But overcoming challenges together is often what strengthens a relationship rather than weakens it. Could that ultimately be their greatest advantage? In the end, this story is less about scandal and more about perspective. Wealth, status, and royal titles cannot protect anyone from the pressures of reputation, responsibility, and public judgment. Princess Beatrice and Edoardo Mazzi continue living between two demanding worlds, one shaped by centuries of royal tradition and the other by the fast-moving world of international business. Finding harmony between those worlds may become one of the greatest tests of their marriage. It may also become one of their greatest strengths. Only they truly know what happens behind closed doors. The rest of us see carefully chosen moments, brief public appearances, and endless headlines that rarely tell the complete story. Whether the coming months bring new challenges or renewed stability, one thing seems certain. They will remain one of the most closely watched couples connected to the British royal family. And as always, only time will reveal what the next chapter holds.